You know, I've been in this business 15 years, and for 15 years I've been trying to get people fired up about paint. And it's kind of like beating my head against the wall. I haven't succeeded, but I'm going to try again to get you fired up about TimberKing's UV protected powder coat finish. Okay, what is a UV protected powder coat finish? What happens with all the major mill components on every TimberKing mill, 1220 to 2400, all the major mill components have a powder coated, baked on, UV protected powder coat finish, which means they take this thing, they dip it in a wash, they put an electric charge on it, they spray powder on it, the powder adheres because of that charge, and they put it through an oven, and they bake this finish on. That means it's the most durable, rugged finish out there. And what that means is that your mill, your mill is only as tough as the paint job that's on it, right? If you make a mill, if you carve a mill out of solid steel, if it's got a crummy paint job on it, that mill's not going to last long. It's going to rust away. You've got to have a good paint job on that mill if you want that mill to last, and if you want that mill to stay looking good. Why do you want your mill to last? Well, you want your mill to last because you want to get years of service out of it. But you also want your mill to stay looking good because in case you decide not to have it for years, in case you decide to sell it at some point because your project is finished or because your life turns in a different direction, you want that mill to look good because a good-looking mill will sell faster, it'll sell easier, and it'll sell for a higher price. So it affects resale value to have a good paint job, and TimberKing is the only sawmill company I know of that puts a UV protected powder coat finish on our mills. Most of my competitors have water-based finishes that they put on their mills, spray-on water-based finishes, which do not last. They fade and they rust. We actually, talking about fading, we had a mill come in about a week ago from Arizona. It had been out in the Arizona sun for 2 years, beating down on it, but again, it's UV protected. That mill came in, we washed it off. It didn't look like new, but it looked awfully nice. And that's something you're going to get only with TimberKing, is that ability to withstand the elements, to stay looking nice, and to keep resale value or trade-in value. Of course, we always hope you decide to stick with TimberKing, and as your business or your projects grow, you trade up to a bigger mill. But either way, the value of that mill is stronger and better and lasts longer with a UV protected powder coat finish. We're the only company that I know of that offers it. It's the best way to go, it's the most rugged way to go, and that's always the way that we go at TimberKing. It's the TimberKing Advantage.